also in mainstream commercials and very mainstream, performing at corporate events all the time. Like Wayne is very much a beloved artist.
But that's a different thing. Beloved artist.
Well, I mean,
he's the most. In terms of the people, he is maybe the most beloved artist in hip hop. Like the people love Lil Wayne.
So that's all I'm saying. I don't think the history, unless once again going back to the city of New Orleans, unless there's something there with that city who could have had some say, according to what people are saying. Right?
Or
they could have had
they don't know. Or he might not even have been on that list that was given to that city. Who knows? We don't know.
And at this point, does the NFL back down and do what you can? Because that means any
history would
from
suggest
this point forward.
Back down because people are complaining on Twitter?
Do you remember people taking a knee? History would suggest the NFL ain't backing down.
Nor is Rock Nation and Jay-Z.
So it's just
Nicki Minaj had something to say about that, though. She did say one N-word took a knee, the other took a bag. It's gonna get you N-words in line every effing time. And then she did tweet, I tried to tell you about y'all, but y'all wanted brunch. Laughing my ass off.
I tried to tell y'all, but y'all wanted brunch. What did she try to tell people about Jay-Z? That he's what?
No, about Rock Nation.
What about them?
Then she,
They're all about the money?
She just keeps going. And there was one where she said, got everything in the world, still spiteful and evil, disgusting, be happy, go F and be happy in rap business and women's business when you got politicians and police. Good though.
Same thing with TMZ.
Somebody
said,
should take her phone.
They're not there for you. Make your money.
I mean, she's
they don't need you. They lock you
Yeah.
up.
Listen, people are clearly upset. We can all agree.
Yeah. Yes.
And no matter how you feel about it, right? If you're upset, if you think it's a great idea that Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl, I'm sure Kendrick definitely doesn't want what's going on with Nicki and Wayne and all that. You know what I mean? But guess what else people are gonna do? They're gonna tune in to see what happens. So it feels like this was a successful announcement.
fact.
Yeah. The Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. Make sure you tune in.
Talk about it.
That's your Flash and Lights report. Time is 8:07, a high of 79 degrees. Alternate side parking rules are in effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ebro and Laura and Rosenberg. We don't know what we're doing coming up because we were just caught up talking about that.
Do you want to talk about misinformation? Because that's the thing that's really been annoying me this week. No, it's been months actually.
You mean like the Super Bowl's a local show for local artists?
Or Haitian immigrants are taking over Springfield, Ohio, or Venezuelans are taking over Colorado, or
With the school bullying, would you tell your kids smack the face off the skin off the face?
when I said that's what I said.
Yeah, aggressive.
I mean, I have aggressive.
With Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Undercover right there. One shot on the fucking window with the dick.
So what do y'all mean y'all big as the Super Bowl? Who are you talking to? Which then prompts him to get on like that.
Right.
And set it off. Ain't no big three, it's just me, you know, and then everything ensued after that. But now Kendrick is actually at the Super Bowl as the headline. And if you process it that way, you can see why Nicki and everybody that's on the Drake side is fuming.
Right, how could it have gone this way? I mean, literally, it keeps getting further. I don't know.
Keith Rosenberg's perspective is the pressure's on Drake because he has to build back based on the L.
I mean, but we've seen that before.
For instance, great example, last night, Aaron Rodgers, full game, first full game in the Jets uniform.
Okay.
They lose. They, on paper, had the best defense. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's Super Bowl or bust. They come out against a Super Bowl team or a Super Bowl appearing team, San Francisco 49ers, in San Francisco and get shellacked. The pressure is on the Jets now. They have to, there is no other option other than winning games and looking amazing from here on out, or people are going to say that this experiment was bad.
There's always more pressure on the big dog that comes out of
and
a
loses.
loss.
Right, so like with Nas and Jay-Z.
Jay had the pressure.
And Jay came back, did a second album, which was not great.
That's right.
And he still rapped about Nas for that whole second album.
And he had to keep going.
And Nas delivered. It delivered. But Jay had to keep going, right?
And
But
Jay had to keep fighting.
But the pressure was on both of them because Nas came with Ether and Jay did his thing. Or not did his thing. And then Nas still had to continue.
Nas had to hit what I can after that.
Right, but he continued. He had to continue.
But this win is so much more decisive. It's so much more decisive.
Because Nas won song for song. This was a stomp out by the internet.
I'm not denying that. I agree.
Oh, go ahead.
We have Brian on the phone. Brian, who has more pressure on him in this moment right now?
I think Kendrick. I mean, you're right. After the Super Bowl, he can do whatever he wants. But when you have so many options, you could fumble. We already know what we're gonna get from Drake. So if Kendrick goes quiet, Drake could go.
That's great. Listen, this is a great perspective because look, Drake could continue. Like right this second while we're having this conversation. Thank you, Brian, for that thought. Right this second while we're having this conversation. Drake has 2 songs performing very well, maybe more. He took the red, blue, green. I don't know if y'all noticed that. What was that song? Blue, green, red. What's it called?
Blue, green, red.
That got yanked off streaming platforms because Clevey and them complained about the sample from the Tiger sample.
It did happen.
So it did. I read an article about it, that was quiet. I don't even think anybody covered that. Like it's still playing on the radio, but it was booming on streaming, and then it's gone. But No Face and Circadian Rhythm are doing very well. Like if you look at the Apple Music charts for New York City, it's like the #1 and #2 song. And so Drake still has music permeating the,
It's kind of like Stay Low and Keep Firing.
Yeah,
and it's working.
And it could, and if he sustains it for an extended period of time, it could work, right? It's going to be tough, right? With these next, what are we talking about, 9 months?
And to be honest, yes, Drake took a big loss, but that hasn't slowed down his momentum. Like people still play Drake records heavy.
Oh no, his catalog's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Right, so and that 100 gigs for your head top was like down memory. Let's go down memory lane. Remember, y'all love.
So
I loved y'all. Y'all
I
like
say that's why. Yeah, that's why I say the pressure is on both equally. Like it's not as lopsided as you think when it comes to what happens next.
I think it's more on Drake.
Yeah,
I just think it's more on Drake. I think accolades are important to him. He's used to being on the #1 on all the charts and breaking records tied with Michael Jackson and them.
But the
And
problem
I
is
just,
that's not stopping though.
That's great. But the thing is, he knows the loss happened. Everyone's talking about it. It bothers him. Kendrick just popped out of nowhere. He's been cool that no one talks about him in the mainstream conversation. He knows the club people don't want to request King Kunta. He's good. He popped out, performed absolute destruction, and then he can go off and do whatever he wants next. I think there is zero pressure on Kendrick Lamar.
Because that's what he's always been.
Exactly.
I don't expect anything else.
With Lawrence Downs and Rosenberg.
Shout to Noel Carlos, who say Drake has more pressure. Hot Rod Rick, he's OVO Hot Rod Rick. He says Kendrick has more pressure, and Mel says Kendrick has more pressure. So people out there, their own perspective. It's gonna be interesting. watch this play out over the next several months with the Super Bowl. Will Kendrick release new content? Will there be more? Will there be an album?
Oh, there will be.
You're sure?
I'm sure there's going to be songs. It's going to be. It's going to happen.